Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. As anyone in business knows, when you're about to embark on a project, there's a lot of very important questions like, should we even be doing it? Is there a better way of doing it? Is there a cheaper way of doing it? What is the cost to benefit analysis? Who will it benefit? How long will it take? And ultimately, what's the price? These are very important. These are just a few. There's many more questions, of course. But this is what you do before you start a project. To do otherwise is lunacy, and it means that the project will always fail. And now we look at the SNP and their announcement about Scottish passports. When will they be coming in? Who will be creating them? Who will they benefit? And above all, cost. And the answer to those questions came there none. The SNP cannot even tell you how much this is going to cost. They're already announcing them. They haven't done cost projections. Who's going to recognise them? Have they set up foreign countries? Have they set up relations with foreign countries? Have they gone in and had international sign-offs that every country will agree what a Scottish passport is? No, of course not. That would take brains. And let's face it, there's not a lot of that in the SNP. Anyway, we'll take a look at this article to see why these people cannot be trusted to tie their own shoelaces. Here goes. So, anger, as the SNP government doesn't know how much Scottish passports or the embassy network would cost. They haven't got a clue. And I tell you what, it's going to be a lot more than they think it is. Humza Yousaf wants to create millions of burgundy passports, but his government has been accused of scribbling plans on a napkin after his government refused to say how much it would cost because it is immense. Billions. He doesn't understand the cost of things. To have a full embassy network all over the world, billions. The SNP has been accused of scribbling plans on a napkin after the nationalist government refused to say how much it would cost to create millions of new Scottish passports or set up a network of foreign embassies in the event of Skexit. Of course not, because first of all, he probably doesn't know himself, and secondly, even if he was told, he said, I ain't telling people that. He's too ashamed of it. Humza Yousaf launched the latest in a series of prospectuses aimed at making the case for breaking up the UK last week, even though he shouldn't, even though it's done at public expense for party political reasons, and I do hope he gets billed for it, because nobody in Scotland wants it. That is to say, yes, some people do, but anyone with a brain in their head doesn't. Titled Building a New Scotland, Citizenship in an Independent Scotland, the document included proposals for the introduction of a burgundy Scottish passport to align with the European Union. It also promised a network of embassies to provide consular services for Scots abroad. Good luck with that. How are you paying for it, and who's going to man it? You haven't got enough diplomats. You haven't got any. You have no foreign recognised diplomats. UK does, but that's not you. The Scottish expressed how much both projects would cost, or if any analysis had been carried out on the potential bill to the taxpayer. However, the government merely said more information would follow later in the Building a New Scotland series. In other words, they either don't know or they do know, and they certainly don't want to tell you, because it would frighten people. Scottish Conservative MSP Stephen Kerr said, "This is classic SNP. Hastily scribbled plans on a napkin, paper thin with no substance. This is while Scots are hoping for a Scottish government that really has their best interests at heart. They're wasting time, effort and money putting all this shit together. Meanwhile, everything else in Scotland is falling apart. People looking at what the SNP have done to Scotland and thinking, I ain't trusting them. I am not trusting the SNP with running my country if this is what it's like when they've only got half the power. How bad would it be if they were totally and permanently in charge?" Many people suspected the latest paper from the SNP to be more of the same. Lots of white space and eye-watering conclusions without any evidence, and it's all very much a distraction trick. It was turned to divert the public's attention from a party with deep internal divisions, which are growing wider and louder every day. Every day a new thing goes wrong for them. They can't help it, of course. But there's no one there with the intelligence to see what the problems are. The SNP have never been able to present a good case for breaking up the union, so they're left to drum up sound bites to placate a vanishing fringe of support. And yet nobody wants them, nobody needs them, it's pointless. And they're talking now, we're going to do this at some point in the future. Not in his lifetime. So why is he even talking about it? Get on and do your day job. Fix the NHS. That's number one. Fix the cost of living. The paper, published on Thursday, assumes Scotland will be part of the EU and the Common Travel Area. Big assumptions considering that there's places in Europe that won't admit Scotland, and so they're never likely to become part of the EU. After all, Spain doesn't want them because of the Catalan problem. Italy may well reject it because of the Lombardy problem. They're not alone. Other countries don't want them because money. Scotland will be a taker, not a giver. Biting the pillow, as it were. It also states all British citizens living in Scotland and all British citizens who are born in Scotland would be eligible for Scottish citizenship. There would be no requirement for a British citizen to become a Scottish citizen in order to live and work in Scotland. That's assuming that there's going to be an open and free border, doesn't it? Which, again, not necessarily true. It also suggests those born outside the country after independence would be entitled to Scottish citizenship if at least one of their parents is a Scottish citizen. First Minister Humza Yousaf later confirmed he would renounce his British citizenship and that Scots passports would be burgundy in colour. I wish he would renounce his British citizenship. That'd be great. That'd be a start. Start now. British passports changed to blue after the country left the EU in 2020, although European passports are still valid until they expire. Yes, but more and more blue ones. My sister, I got the last blue one, which said Her Britannic Majesty. I don't know if it was the last ever one, but it was right at the end. And my sister changed hers and she got His Britannic Majesty. She must have been one of the first with the kings on. Anyway, we asked the Nationalist government if the Scottish government had completed any analysis on how much the publication, processing and distribution of these new passports would cost. We also asked if any analysis had taken place on how much it would cost to set up a network of embassies and how much that would be. And the spokesman responded, Scottish citizens already contribute to the cost of passports as part of the UK. To deliver an open and welcoming proposal set on the Building a New Scotland citizenship paper, a passport and citizen services office would be established and arrangements would be put in place to support Scottish citizens abroad. So, quite incapable of answering the question. You weren't asked about current existing passport arrangements. You were asked how much is it going to cost to set up a Scottish passport office and how much will it cost to distribute millions of passports. They haven't got a clue because they just don't know. It's all very good when it's a game, but let's get to the nitty gritty. Getting the embassies alone, billions. With a B, billions. Because of course you've got to go and buy it, you've got to build them. You've got to have the security enforced. It isn't just putting a little ambassador in there. You've got to have the consulate, head of consular services. You've got to have all the diplomatic staff. You've got to have all the, the support staff, the admin staff. You've got to have security. You haven't got a security service yet, so I don't know how you're going to maintain security in these things. Who's going to pay for your security service? Who's going to be your MI5, your MI6? All these things are needed if you're going to run an embassy. Go on then, show me the cost for that. Also, who's going to do it? Billions, mate. Billions. And there's only one source of that money, the Scottish taxpayer. Good luck. Anyway, let's round off and come up. So there you go. Typical SNP fluff, isn't it? Oh yes, we're full of good ideas. We're going to do this, that and the other. How much is it going to cost? We haven't got a clue. Have you got the personnel? No. Have you got the buildings? No. Do you know what you need actually to do to set these things up? No. So you need 200 embassies, ambassadors, consular staff, legal staff, admin staff, ground staff, maintenance staff. You need all the security apparatus, so you need internal security, external security, communication security. You haven't got any security force, have you? You haven't got your MI6, your MI5, your GCHQ. You haven't got any of that. You've got barely a defence force, and yet you want to set up all these embassies around the world. You haven't got the people for it. You haven't got the money for it, the billions of pounds that's going to take. Then the ongoing running costs each year. And that's just for them. Then you've got the passports. You haven't set up all the arrangements with all the other countries yet. You know, you haven't got a foreign office. You haven't got anything like that. You need massive increase in state, in costs, in people and buildings, etc. if you're going to do this. Because at the moment you're little more than a town hall, a talking shop. When you have to go on a world stage, you need a lot more. Then you've got to set up your central bank. Then you've got to set up your Office of International Credit. Then you've got to set up all the apparatus of states in terms of monitoring, financial services authorities, of credit checking authorities. You have to have access to the International Bank. You have to have access to the International Monetary Fund. You have to, etc., etc., etc. You haven't got the people. You haven't got the money. Why do you keep pushing this? It's because you're dogmatically forced to do it. I suspect everyone in the SNP knows that the last thing they actually want is independence. Seems fortunate then that it's the last thing that most Scots want, because they know it would just destroy the country. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please do hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and remember, they'll soon all be just a memory. Bye.